Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us here on our third Sunday of Easter. Hey, wait a minute. Who are you guys? Bowen and Bristol were supposed to be here, but I don't recognize you guys. Who? Looks like we have Spider-Man, and we have She-Ra
with a Santa
hat on. That's kind of silly. I wonder who these people are. Or who? I don't know. Well, I guess I think the reason that I don't recognize them is because in the gospel today, it talks about how these two followers of Jesus were walking along and then they didn't recognize who Jesus was. So, yes.
When I was coloring, I did not know that Jesus was in there.
Oh, you didn't know that? All right. So, while we are, you guys can take off your disguises now. Thanks, guys. All right. Now, while I'm going to read the gospel right now, and what Bowen and Bristol are going to do now, though. Here, I'll put these over here. Okay. All right. We made a little road here, and they're going to act it out with some gummy bears. Okay? So, what color gummy bear do you want?
I think I want golden.
You want a golden one? Alright. You can each have two if you want.
Wait, Daddy, can I have the pink ones? Golden.
I don't know if they're pink.
These are red.
These are red.
They're red.
Then I think the golden ones.
Okay. Very good. Alright. So, this is a gospel according to Luke. Two of Jesus' disciples. So, who has the two disciples? Bristol? Bristol has two of them. They were going to a village of Emmaus, which was about 7 miles from Jerusalem. As they were talking and thinking about what had happened, Jesus came near and started walking along beside them. All right, where's Jesus? Use one of yours.
The red one is Jesus.
Okay, then he starts walking with the other ones. Okay? But they did not know who he was. Jesus asked them, "What are you talking about?" as you walked along. The two of them stood there, looking sad and gloomy. Then one named Cleopas asked Jesus, "Are you the only person from Jerusalem who didn't know what was happening these past few days?" "What do you mean?" Jesus asked. They answered, "Those things that happened to Jesus from Nazareth. By what he did and said, he showed that he was a powerful prophet who pleased God and all the people. Then the chief priests and our leaders had him arrested and sentenced to die on a cross. We had hoped that he would be the one to set Israel free. But it has already been 3 days since all this happened. Some women in our group surprised us. They had gone to the tomb early in the morning, but did not find the body of Jesus. They came back saying that they had seen a vision of angels who told them that he is alive. Some men from our group went to the tomb and found it just as the women had said, but they didn't see Jesus either." Then Jesus asked the two disciples. All right, where's Jesus? He's got to ask the disciples. All right, ask the disciples this. Why can't you understand? How can you be so slow to believe that all the prophets that said? Didn't you know that the Messiah would have to suffer before he was given his glory? Then Jesus explained everything written about himself in the scriptures, beginning with the law of Moses and the books of the prophets. When the two of them came near the village they were going, Jesus wanted to go farther, but they begged him, saying, "Stay with us." So these guys have to say, they were like saying, "Stay with us, stay with us. It's already late and the sun is going down." So Jesus went into the house to stay with them. After Jesus sat down to eat, he took some bread and blessed it and broke it. Then he gave it to them. At once they knew who he was, but he disappeared. Then they said to each other, "When he talked with us along the road and explained the scriptures to us, didn't it warm our hearts?" So they got right up and returned to Jerusalem. The gospel of the Lord. So they didn't know. Listen, guys. So they didn't know when who Jesus was until when? When did they realize? and they know who Jesus was?
They realized that he disappeared.
So it was right before he disappeared, right? But then when he was breaking bread with them and he was eating dinner with them.
The Last Supper.
Well, yeah, it kind of ties into the Last Supper. Very good.
The Last Supper.
Right? And so all that time they were talking to Jesus and had no idea who he was. Isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
That's like you not knowing who I am.
Come there.
That's okay. We'll get it later. Not knowing who I am and still talking with me all this time, right? But then Jesus does disappear, right? So that is our gospel for today. And one activity that I did find online, we did these a little earlier today. Here, Bristol, this is yours. And Bowen, this is yours. We'll scoot that up. All right. So we had these crafts are from, if you Google crafting the Word of God and search Emmaus, this will come up right away. And you just print this out and then you color and cut it out. And then
I know it does.
Good.
you kind of put these
Good.
up through here, cut the slit in there.
Look,
And then Bristol, you can hold your popsicle.
and then
And
we
they're
can
walking,
walk.
it's walking along the road, right? Good. So we did this a little earlier today, just to save some time. But that's a craft, a fun little craft that we were able to do.
Yeah,
We
so
just
can,
we glued the people, the Jesus and the two disciples, on popsicle sticks and colored and cut it out. So again, that is at Crafting the Word of God. And search Emmaus. Just Google the whole thing, Crafting the Word of God Emmaus, and it'll come right up. So,
Daddy, this is Jesus. This is and these are the two guys.
oh yeah, I see that. Jesus is walking with the staff.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you for joining us today. We
Hey, Bristol, you
we'll
just
definitely
colored the staff.
be coming to you every Sunday, bringing the gospel to our little ones here,
Bristol, which
so
one
that
do
way
you
they
want
can
to be Jesus?
participate like they normally would at our 10:30 mass. So
I want
thanks for joining
this
us
one to
today.
be Jesus for me.
everybody have a good week. All right, can you guys say have a good week and say bye?
Have a good week.
All right. Bye, everybody.
So.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bristol did a good job coloring.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about me?